DeWanna Bonner drama. We know that was a locker room situation, but guess what? They stayed the course. And that's what they got to do to make it to the WNBA championship. Ultimately, a lot of people have been boycotting for Caitlin Clark to not come back. With Ari McDonald down, Sydney Colson down, a lot of people feel like the depth isn't what it was. I feel like Caitlin Clark definitely need to come back. Sophie Cunningham, the way she's been balling, they'll
The Indiana Fever basketball squad has faced numerous challenges during this current season. Caitlin Clark suffered an early injury, and Sophie Cunningham also dealt with health issues for a period. Despite these setbacks, several key players including Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Boston, and Natasha Howard have maintained their commitment and continued performing at high levels. When teams aim to reach the next tier of competition, particularly during the latter portion of the season, and make significant league-wide contributions, maintaining consistency becomes crucial. These athletes have demonstrated exactly this type of dedication while avoiding injuries and managing various career developments throughout the season.
He's been balling. They'll be all right, man. They'll definitely be all right. Sophie Cunningham has proven time and time again she could be a starter. She could be a backup. It don't matter what she want to do. I mean, what she has to do on the court, she's going to do what she got to do to support her team. And she's clearly happy in Indiana. I'm happy for her being on the team. It gives a new attitude. She's been giving a lot of life into this team, but we have to talk about the current situation that is going on, and that is.
Even during the Dana Bonner controversy, which created locker room tensions, the team persevered and maintained focus on their ultimate goal of reaching the WNBA championship. Many supporters have advocated for Caitlin Clark to remain sidelined, with Ari McDonald and Sydney Colson also dealing with injuries. Concerns about team depth have grown. However, Clark's return appears necessary for the team's success. Sophie Cunningham's exceptional performance suggests the squad will manage well during this difficult period.
Is Natasha Howard. So Natasha Howard and Kelsey Mitchell put out a post yesterday, late last night, that has since went viral. Let's pull up this article real quick. It stated Fever Star sends personal message to Caitlin Clark after Sky game. The Indiana Fever recently defeated the Chicago Sky, which I told y'all that should be an easy win. I did not have them losing in any shape, form, or fashion. Now, we do know they beat the Chicago Sky. Was only
Cunningham has consistently proven her versatility, whether starting or coming off the bench, adapting to whatever role the team requires while clearly enjoying her time in Indiana. Her addition has brought fresh energy and attitude to the roster. The team must address the current circumstances, particularly regarding Natasha Howard's recent social media activity. Both Howard and Kelsey Mitchell shared a post that gained significant online attention. A recent article highlighted how a Fever star sent a personal message to Caitlin Clark following their game against the Sky.
Any shape, form, or fashion. Now, we do know they beat the Chicago Sky. Was only 9 damn players, so that was just major in itself. But this is what Natasha Howard put on X yesterday. She said, we will always fighting for each other, but we feel this fight is a little different with our girls out in the lineup. All the hard work they put in over this season won't go unnoticed. Win or loss, just know we are fighting to the end for Sid, Cece, and Ari. See you soon, Cece. So
the Indiana Fever successfully defeated the Chicago Sky, which was expected to be a straightforward victory. The team accomplished this win with only 9 available players, making the achievement particularly impressive. Natasha Howard's social media post stated, "We will always be fighting for each other, but we feel this fight is a little different with our girls out in the lineup. All the hard work they put in over this season won't go unnoticed. Win or loss, just know we are fighting to the end for Sid, Cece, and Ari."
CC. So it looked like Ari looked like Natasha Howard is hinting and insinuating that Caitlin Clark is about to come back real soon. I'm happy, very happy about this. And I know a lot of fans is not feeling Caitlin coming back. Feel like it's a waste of a season. I don't, guys. I just don't. KK been balling, and whoever else they decide to bring in.
See you soon, CC. Howard's message appears to suggest that Caitlin Clark's return is imminent. This development brings excitement despite some fans expressing reluctance about Clark coming back, viewing it as a potentially wasted season. However, with players like KK performing well and potential roster additions, there's confidence in the front office's ability to strengthen the team before playoffs. The front office has made several strategic decisions throughout the season. While some signings created locker room distractions, focusing purely on basketball reveals successful moves.
They decided to bring in. Actually, I got to be honest here. I got faith in the front office fixing this roster before the playoffs. We can say what we want about the front office. I know they have been going through things, bringing in certain players that has been distractions in the locker room. But if we're talking pure basketball, the Ari McDonald signing, genius move. Chloe Bibby was a genius move. Sophie Cunningham, genius move. That one, I feel like Sophie Cunningham now, since we're looking at now what
the Ari McDonald acquisition was brilliant, as was bringing in Chloe Bibby. Sophie Cunningham's signing has proven to be the most impactful addition, bringing new attitude and toughness that other teams have noticed and commented on regarding the Fever's increased physicality. Kelsey Mitchell shared her thoughts about the team dynamics. This is the most resilient team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly. We've had a lot of mishaps happen throughout the course of the season, and I think throughout the course of it all, we stay resilient, and you guys get to see us at our best when we stay together and be resilient.
Now, since we're looking at now, what did transpire now was the most impactful player they brought in. I know a lot of people thought it was going to be DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, but you got to look at the things around them on and off the court. Sophie Cunningham has been the most impactful player they signed, hands down. I mean, she brought a new attitude to the team. She brought a toughness to the team. Everything that we're seeing other teams say, like, oh,
so shout out to my girls tonight, because I think it took everybody. Everyone played a piece, played a role, and I think that's how we got the win. Coach Stephanie White addressed the challenges of losing key players. First and foremost, just broken heart for them. They're two really good people that you hate to see this happen to. They've been an integral part of what we've been doing, and so hate it for them. Unfortunately, it's part of the deal. We've got to roll with it, and we've got players in that locker room who believe in one another. Players in that locker room who are as competitive as all get out.
Everything that we're seeing other teams say, like, oh my God, they're so physical, they're this and that, that is simply because Sophie Cunningham is on this team. Best move they did. I'm not going to bash the front office and make it seem like they did not make power moves, because they definitely did, bro. But let's listen to what Kelsey Mitchell said.
Team I've ever been a part of, and I say that wholeheartedly.
We've got versatility, and it's going to have to be on full display. I think now it's about playing to honor them, right? And playing for them. When asked about the lack of healthy point guards and game strategy, White explained, "We'll have to do it by committee, certainly. We've been utilizing AB to initiate offense throughout the course of the season, so we'll use her and continue to use her."
Kind of level of thing, the CBA negotiations. And then they just casually drop this big fat headline out there. A big fat green purple headline. WNBA is struggling to prevent repeat dildo incidents. Son of a bitch. And we got Cheryl Reeve out there talking about this ain't funny. No, this funny as hell. It's funny as hell. Look, I don't want nobody to get...
Sophie at times this season, particularly early, ran some of the point for us as well. So we'll utilize her, and Kelsey can initiate offense too. The most important thing is that we aren't going to be able to do every play in our arsenal. We'll have to play a big lineup. We'll have to simplify.
Caught with a foreign object, you know what I mean? This ain't SmackDown. This ain't Raw. Boom. Oh, dildo to the eye hole. But you got to admit, that headline, I couldn't help but laugh at. I mean, come on. Okay, so let's just scroll down. The WNBA appears to have no answer. They're baffled by the deal to the does. They continue to be heaved.
But we've got players who are capable of getting us into offense and will utilize them in such a way. The coach acknowledged they'll need to anticipate increased pressure and more driving toward Kelsey, requiring strategic positioning to make her role more manageable. The team will continue their approach of having multiple players handle ball movement and offense initiation. With Caitlin Clark's potential return approaching and the Dallas Wings game scheduled for Tuesday, the Fever continues navigating through these challenging circumstances while maintaining their competitive spirit and team unity. The squad appears well positioned to handle upcoming challenges despite the current roster limitations. The Women's National Basketball Association faces an unprecedented challenge as adult novelty items continue disrupting games across multiple venues.
Full by the deal to the nose. They continue to be heaved on to courts across the league. Guys, this is a story about a professional sports league. Is this where we're at? I mean, this is wild. By the way, some crypto company is claiming ownership of it, I believe, the first one, the first incident. The two deal to the nose were thrown onto the court.
Front Office Sports, a respected publication covering professional sports business matters, recently highlighted this growing problem with stark headlines addressing the league's inability to stop these recurring disruptions. The situation has escalated beyond simple pranks, with the league seemingly unprepared to handle what has become a systematic issue. Adult toys keep appearing on basketball courts during live games, creating safety concerns for athletes and spectators alike. Recent incidents span approximately 10 days, beginning at Gateway Center Arena, where Atlanta Dream plays, occurring on July 29th. The problem continued during Chicago Sky's matchup against Golden State Valkyries on August 1st at Wintrust Arena.
Deal to the nose were thrown onto the court in Chicago late Thursday night, bringing the total number of deal to the nose that have reached the WNBA courts to at least 5. You may be like, what's up with the deal to the dough? I'm trying to get YouTube to not monetize this bitch, is what I'm trying to do. First was at Gateway Center Arena, where the Atlanta Dream play on July 29th. We're now spanning 10 days on the...
These disruptions now threaten to occur during nationally broadcast games, potentially causing major embarrassment for the sport. Another incident took place on August 5th during the Los Angeles Sparks versus Indiana Fever game at Crypto.com Arena, where an object actually struck Fever guard Sophie Cunningham's leg. This physical contact escalated safety concerns significantly, as players could sustain injuries from flying objects. Additional disruptions happened at Barclays Center and Phoenix Arena, though security managed to prevent objects from reaching playing surfaces in those instances. The perpetrators lacked sufficient throwing ability to complete their disruptive acts.
We're now spanning 10 days on the rubber schlong incidents bouncing on the court. Wow. The next incident happened during the Chicago Skies game against the Golden State Valkyries on August 1 at Wintrust Arena. I'm willing to bet that Sky game tomorrow night, it's in prime time. I bet it is on CBS or ABC or ESPN. What if we have a flying rubber schlong?
Law enforcement has made arrests in connection with these incidents. 23-year-old Delbert Carver faces charges in Georgia, including criminal trespassing, public indecency, and disorderly conduct. 18-year-old Caden Lopez received charges in Phoenix for disorderly conduct, assault, and public display of explicit sexual material. Carver currently remains free on bail with pending court proceedings in Clayton County. Lopez has a preliminary hearing scheduled for August 25th.
And rubber schlong incident during that nationally televised game. On August 5th, a deal to the dough reached the court, reached the court during the Los Angeles Sparks against the Indiana Fever at Crypto.com Arena, hitting the leg of Fever guard Sophie Cunningham. We got to protect Sophie Cunningham at all cost. We need to put a
Cryptocurrency promoters claim responsibility for orchestrating many disruptions, stating Lopez worked with them while
put a protective bubble around her. All right? No rubber schlongs in the vicinity of one Sophie Cunningham. There has been at least 3 other incidents of said does being thrown at WNBA games, including at Barclays Center and the Phoenix Arena in Phoenix. But in those cases, they did not reach the court. Somebody didn't have a strong enough arm to heave the rubber.
Only Las Vegas Aces provided a statement emphasizing safety priorities and cooperation with league security and arena staff to maintain respectful environments. The league previously announced automatic 1-year bans for fans throwing any objects onto courts. Some observers jokingly suggested certain fans might welcome such bans as excuses to avoid future games. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert may soon face the awkward situation of addressing these disruptions publicly during press conferences. League officials stressed that any thrown objects pose serious safety risks to players, referees, and spectators alike.
The court. Somebody didn't have a strong enough arm to heave the rubber, onto the court. 2 men have been arrested. 23-year-old Delbert. Isn't that like a comic book character or something? Delbert Carver in Georgia and 18-year-old Caden Lopez in Phoenix. Carver has been charged with criminal trespassing, public indecency, disorderly conduct, while Lopez was charged with disorderly conduct, assault, and public display of
The Women's National Basketball Players Association became involved, with Union Executive Director Terry Jackson requesting updates on league investigations. The union expressed concern about reports suggesting people received incentives to perform these dangerous stunts. These incentives likely reference cryptocurrency promotions and betting markets, offering wagering opportunities on whether disruptions will occur during specific games. Polymarket reportedly provides prediction markets accepting bets on these incidents, though such platforms technically remain illegal for United States users. Despite VPN accessibility, the league scheduled 10 games between Friday and Saturday, creating multiple opportunities for additional disruptions.